Monday, October 28th, and we're going to be getting a little bit into Shadow Club and talking. There is homework assigned this week. It's the one that you've been knowing about coming. It's the one that connects to the highlighting in the book, which we'll talk more about here in a moment. And so I will officially assign it Thursday, but I will also unlock it tomorrow. It's not due until Monday of next week, but I figured since it's probably one of our longer assignments, if you're not wanting to wait till the last minute, then hopefully that'll give you a chance to get things done. Let's see, and we have quiz coming up. Our first one will be up to page 74. I am not going to read with you guys all the way to 74, but we should probably get to like 50, maybe 60, so it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see what happens from there. And then about half of you have not turned in the conversation discussion survey from Friday. One, a good conversation. I enjoyed it. I ended up having a lot that I could take away from it that I can hopefully go and talk to other teachers and stuff like that. But this is the thing that I'll need you to fill out. If it's not done by 5 o'clock today, then I have to be mean to you. So hopefully you get it turned in by then, so I can try to be nice. If you're not sure if you've turned it in, you can work on it during class. You just have to stand. And if you want to stand and work on it, that's fine. If you'd rather work on it later, that's completely up to you. If you don't have it turned in, then eventually I get to be mean to you and stuff like that. Or you could try to hide your iPad on your lap under the desk and see if I charge you points for that as opposed to just standing up. Who knows what could happen. Then, lottery media questions. I think I'm good to go in this class. Let me see if I get to yell at anybody. One kid who's gonna work on it.
Me.
It's a thing around my neck. Did you want to stand or sit?
Stand.
And you may stand. Go for it. It's a thing around my neck. Nope. Oh, you can't see. So then once you're standing, we can help you guys out. Then to today. If you are around Thursday when we have this whole Halloween thing coming up, I do turn my garage and front yard into like a you are more than welcome to come by, which is why I put it out there.
Is it a total house? It's like
Just a house. But it's set up where you go in there and there's like a little, anyway, it's a haunted garage with like 4 different rooms you get to walk through and stuff like that.
1 second.
It's in the same neighborhood as Plains Hannah and Rosewood. It's just that North Point's the neighborhood that's between the two of them. And if you're in whatever the something north, south, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Yes.
It's Braden
this PowerPoint is
Yeah, he lives down the street.
left or right?
He out my front door. He's this direction,
Oh, I know.
like 6, 7 houses. Hi, Brian.
This PowerPoint is on Canvas, right?
Well, no, what the video is. That I'm recording.
Oh, that.
Right, so you can just go there.
Okay.
So anyway, if you want to come by, you're more than welcome to. If your house is not near mine, then you might be out of luck. But look for giant flapping dragon, and you'll know you're in the right spot.
The neighbors.
Although my neighbors have a smaller flapping dragon, theirs is only like this tall. It's like a little baby
They have
dragon.
more stuff.
Oh,
Mine's
I want to
just
go. They have more stuff.
No.
Can I go?
When we head over to library today, if you are still missing homework, you get to sit in the back of the room near me so you can work on homework. If you're one of my kids that is under 10 points, which
No one.
no one in this class is under 10 points
I
at the
am
moment. So then,
I thought
in
paper-
theory, we get to be nice to you. And, they'll do like a little story thing. Then you'll have time to return book if you have book to return to them. Otherwise, they have like coloring, you get a chance. Oh, Wednesday, when we do the I Learn thing. When you finish I Learn, the only thing you're allowed to do in class is read. So either if you want to read Shadow Club, you can. There is a test coming up on Friday. If you would rather read something else, then you're welcome to make sure you have something else to check out on that one, and that should be fine. And we should be good to go. You're wanting to know if I was going to torture the kid who's using the iPad on their lap, and the answer is probably. That's why I was going to make her stand up if she wanted to work on the thing. But we'll see if it gets put away. What's up, Nate?
Is it Is it just the class period of
Yeah.
English I learned?
It's so hard to
It's like 2 hours in the morning, just like you did the practice test day.
I know.
And then you're gonna have
Why are you
half-hour
telling us
classes. So what?
Why are you telling us that and when I learned's done?
Because when you get done, that way you tell
Okay.
Annabelle.
Did you say the only thing we're going to do Thursday?
On Wednesday, after you finish the test, is read. Wednesday, you're taking iLearn. After the test, all you can do is read. You can't have a phone, or be on an iPad or anything.
Our first week, we can tell us that?
No, you're taking it. So, in first period, you are taking iLearn, where for 2 hours Wednesday morning, you are taking an iLearn test. But some of you won't take 2 hours. You're going to have time at the end of the test. When the test ends, until that 2-hour mark, the only thing you're allowed to do is read. So that's why I'm telling you now, even though you're not with me, you can read. And then the kid standing realize as soon as you lean, I charge you points, or we can move you over here. So what you're going to want to do is push the chair in and then stand over near Penny so it's not tempting, and then I wouldn't have to attack a kid. Hi, Adrian, what's up? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Looks like there's a pile of stuff on your desk. I got real confused.
sorry.
It's okay.
How many pieces?
I can't hear you. It looks like there's some music on your desk.
Oh, that's your
Okay.
location.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
How many pieces of candy do we get?
I apologize for calling on you.
Oh, man.
Then, as we get back into Shadow Club, let's see. We're going to see how much you remember. And we're going to read a little bit today before we head over to try to get back onto the same pages. Story starts off with them having a wedding. Where's the wedding taking place? Cemetery, which is definitely kind of weird. And then, do you remember the main character's name?
Rebecca.
Not
Jared.
Jared. Not Nick. That's not
And his best friend, which is a girl? Cheryl. And what does everyone think Jared and Cheryl are doing? Dating, although they're just friends. Cheryl has a younger brother that makes fun of her.
I don't want to say his name. I know his name.
Daniel!
Randall.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like you nailed it. Randall on that one. And then, let's see, we got to...
Brandon.
On the homework I'm officially assigning to you, the way it's going to work is you have to find 10 connections between the book and your life. For each connection, you're going to tell me the page number in Shadow Club where you found it, what it is it says, who in your life it connects to, including yourself, and then explain to me how it connects to you. So you're going to do that for each of the 10 things you find. So then, let's see, we had the gazebo, which was for the wedding, and then we did, who is it they say sounds like Shirley Temple?
Shirley Temple.
Rebecca, who is the cousin, Addie Batty.
The characters connection, you said you were going to open it tomorrow? Okay. And it's due on Thursday.
Monday. Thursday is when I officially assign it. I'm just opening it up early for people. So Rebecca is the one that supposedly sounds like Shirley Temple because she dances around and sings. Because Cheryl's really good at singing. Ooh, what is it Jared's really good at doing?
Rebecca.
Being invisible. Dancing.
So this is what tells me how much you guys read on Thursday when I was gone and you had the directions to read. So that tells me he was really good at running, and that's what he was really upset about. It happens, yeah. And so he's really good at running, and then it turns out at their junior high, it is not grades 7 and 8 in their junior high.
6, 7, 8.
Nope.
7, 8.
7, 8,
No,
no.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Again, tells me which 3 kids read. And so their junior high goes 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. So 8th grade is not your last year. So they are in 9th grade, which is the last year for them for junior high. And then we got Jared hates another kid who's better runner than him. And the other kid's name? Austin Pace.
I say that.
Austin,
And he
baby.
makes fun of him by calling him lost in space. Ryan,
I hate the run around.
Wait,
It's kind of about.
hang on, I'm charging kids points. They're just all excited about learning. Go ahead.
So, like, I don't get it. Wait, if 9th grade is still junior high, then in 10th grade, are they?
So then high school starts at 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade.
Wait, then.
That's why in the book he makes fun of it. That's
Yeah, where's
why
freshman?
Who's freshman?
freshman is 9th grade.
So, wait, but they're in junior
Freshman would still be in junior
they're
high.
in- Wait,
Omar.
So, didn't like Austin like have like a trip with his dad somewhere?
Yes.
Like for a whole year.
Yes. And so the previous year they were both gone, or sorry, he was gone for that trip. We are going to start on page 19, which I figure is a compromise between those kids who read and those kids who just stared at the wall. I figured those kids who stared at the wall, there's not much I can do to help you. Those kids who read, well, then that should have gotten you probably pretty close to 19. And we'll see what we can do.
assuming that we read like 8 pages?
No. I'm assuming responsible kids read 8 pages. I'm assuming the rest of you did nothing.
I got to
on page 19.
I read to, very like student 61.
So here's where we're going to be talking about Jared, main character, and how he is not happy with Austin, which, by the way, the whole chapter is called Austin Pace. Kenny? Got you a what? Hey, go you. That's what I would have thought too. But sorry, I can't hear you because you have a bunch of stuff on your desk. Oh yeah. Where's your book? Oh, there it is. What's up?
Do you have that Scooby toilet?
I apologize for calling you. All right.
Give me toilet.
On the first morning of 9th grade, again, which is in their junior high, I watched Austin from the stands. He knew I was there. He had to know. I was the only one in the bleachers. He ran around and around the dirt track in his bright white running shoes that never seemed to get dirty. It looked like he was going to go until the first bell rang, but then he stopped, stepped inside the track, and went to the highest point of the oval. I knew what he was going to do. He did it all the time. His school bag sat there at the tip of the oval track. He took his blue digital chronometer, the one the coach gave him after last year's final meet, set it to 0. Then he took his running shoes and socks off and stared at an invisible spot in front of him, straight across the middle of the field, to the other tip of the oval. He took his starting position, clicked the chronometer, and took off in his bare feet. It hurt to watch his speed. He tore through the grass like a racehorse on turf. It was at the other end of the oval much too soon. Real quick, when they say that he goes from one tip to the other, they just mean normally when you run around the track, he is sort of up here in this little top area and then runs straight across the track like that. And then, let's see, they say he's using a chronometer, which is fancy words. It just means stopwatch. I was say, what's a chronometer? It just means a thing that measures time, which would just be a stopwatch. I don't know why they don't just say stopwatch, but whatever. He looked at the time his chronometer had logged. Then he pretended to notice me for the first time. He waved. I waved back. He stretched out his legs and went to get his shoes and then came by the bleachers. What's up, Jared? Did you have a good summer? Pretty good. What about you? Great, he said. He put his foot up on the first bench and stretched his calf muscle. You like my running shoes? They're Aeropeds. Best running shoe made. Cost almost $200. I nodded. Maybe if you had these shoes, said Lawson, you might be able to come close to giving me some competition this year, huh? Maybe, I said, which wasn't what I wanted to say. I won't tell you what I wanted to say. Been working out? He asked. Yeah, I said. I had been. Every spare moment I had. Good. Me too. Every day. All summer up at Junior National Running Camp. Hey, guess what? What? I might qualify for the Junior NCAA Championships. Really? Uh-huh. tough competition, but my time now is averaging a quarter of a second faster than last year's 60-yard qualifying time. So I've been trying to get it even lower. My dad says if I qualify, then next year he'll find me a private coach and train me for the Olympics. He smiled that I'm better than you smile at me. So, what have you been up to? Me? Oh, I just went to European Runners Training Camp where you run cross country up and down the Alps all day long with famous Olympic athletes. Really? I sighed. No. Actually, I've just hung around and worked at Burger King making hamburgers. Hard work, that Burger King. Builds muscles in your fingers.
My brother.
I'll bet, said Austin. You know, I was the youngest one they ever had working at that Burger King. Yeah? Well, that makes sense, said Austin. I mean, who else are you going to get to do the stupid flunky work but a kid, right? I didn't say anything after that. Well, I gotta go change, said Austin. Are you coming to the first track meeting this afternoon? Of course. Well, get there on time, he said, smiling that crocodile smile at me. They're picking team captain today. I wouldn't want you to miss that. He turned and ran toward the locker room. Ugh, team captain today. Already that smoldering feeling was growing. Austin had done it again. In 5 minutes, he had put me beneath his $200 running shoes and flattened me like a cigarette butt. So, a number of things to talk about real quick. One, I'm doing my best to try to give Austin an annoying jerk voice because he's the annoying jerk that he feels like all superior and better. So I'm trying to give him the, oh, is that what you're doing? I'm better than you. Feels like I've nailed it. Two, when it says that Austin gives him a crocodile smile, assuming, do you guys know the phrase crocodile smile?
Yeah.
So, crocodile
I knew
likes
it.
that. So
I knew
it looks like they have a big smile because they look like that. But they're not smiling, they're getting ready to eat you. It's just sort of how it's built in. A crocodile smile is when someone smiles at you, but it's not a real smile. It's like a I'm getting ready to hurt you smile. You'll notice it because it pops up in my room quite a bit when I say something like, oh, you're choosing to continue talking after I move seats. Interesting choice. And then I smile at you and you go, you're smiling, but I feel cold inside. And I'm like, that's a crocodile smile where it's not a real smile whatsoever. And the other one was when he talks about Austin crushing him under his foot like a cigarette butt. I know when you guys go out with your vapes now, you don't have cigarette butts, but back in the days before kids had vapes, we had to smoke cigarettes. And so whenever you would finish the cigarette, you would have to crush it out. And so this is what he's talking about. It feels like Austin has crushed him underneath his heel. It feels weird with cigarette butts being like an old-timey slang that kids don't know much any day.
I think a cigarette.
It's probably a good thing. I figured kids probably do. You like little throwback cigarettes. I'm not one to knock kids for their choices. You ain't got a chance against him, said a voice a few feet away from me. Standing there, right next to the bleachers, was Tyson the dog, who, when it came to being weird, was head and shoulders above the rest. Tyson had stringy, greasy hair, a dirty face, and his left nostril was larger than his right because he spent so much time with his finger in it. Nobody much liked Tyson, and he was most definitely not the person I care to talk to right now. Right now. Not after being humiliated by Lost in Space. Why don't you just mind your own business, Tyson? I said. People don't like you spying on them. I wasn't spying, said Tyson, mean, defensively, like he was looking to get into another one of his famous fights. Tyson was an odd bird. Half the time, he seemed kind of nerdy and off in his own greasy little world. The other half the time, he was being nasty and picking fights like he was a tough. The last thing I wanted on the first morning of school was to fight Tyson. Not that I couldn't beat him up. I could. He was kind of weak and scrawny. It's just that he doesn't really fight like a human. He fights more like an animal, kicking and clawing and biting. If you did highlight the part where it talked about Tyson with the dirty face and his finger up his nose, I don't want to know who you're connecting it to. It's okay. And then the same thing with the other one about picking fights. Oh, the part where it says kind of weak and scrawny, I highlighted that and put me in junior high because I was like a walking stick back then. And then the part where it says he fights more like an animal, kicking and clawing and biting, that was my younger brother. Because my friends and I spent years beating him up because that's what you do with younger siblings. And it made him stronger to the point where he fought like a crazed person. So it was kind of impressive. Well, spying or not, whatever you want to call it, don't do it anymore, at least not to me, because I don't like it. I got down from the bleachers and began to walk toward the school building. You really don't stand a chance, mumbled Tyson as I passed him. How would you know? I yelled into his face. Now I was mad. You are not on the team. You're not on any team. All you do is watch everybody else's business and stick your nose in it. Don't you have any business of your own? What goes on between Austin and me has nothing to do with you. Got that? Tyson, shut up. I don't think he expected me to get that mad. Just get out of my sight, Tyson. Don't talk to me unless you have something decent to say. I turned and walked toward class. Tyson mumbled something nasty beneath his breath, but I didn't want to push it any further. I ignored him, continued walking. As I got into the building, my anger shifted away from Tyson and back to Austin. What burned me most was that Tyson was probably right. Conceited, arrogant, lost in space, had all the odds in his favor, and I hated Austin all the more for it. I began to imagine how nice it would be if there was a great conspiracy against all the lost in spaces in the world. What was the definition of foreshadowing back in the day?
A Bob hat.
Clues that help you figure out what's going to happen. No particular reason why I thought I might mention it right then, but just thought I'd throw it out there at the moment.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was saying. I'm going to stop there.
That's a very revenge.
Juliana, can you take your right hand, lift it up, that one, and then slap the desk behind you? And slap that one. There you go. There you go. Congratulations, Adrian, on your new seat. Scooting you over. It was a little distracting with you talking quite that much. So we're going to have to give you a little bit of distance. I know, and we'll see if that helps from there.